Hola familia, and welcome back to All Stuff and Games. I conducted a poll across multiple social media platforms for feedback from the cozy community to determine what defines a cozy game. In this video, we discuss the common trends and explore my most favorite features of Palia to see if it can take home the crown for the perfect cozy game. So in establishing what makes a cozy game quote-unquote perfect, one of the most common trends that I noticed was exploration. And that is one thing I will say, even in open beta, that Palia is not missing. If you look on the map, just on the map alone, it is huge. And there are multiple maps because you enter into multiple areas. So in the main map, you're here in Kilima Village. And this is the full map of just Kilima Village alone and the surrounding areas. If you come all the way to this side of the map, as I hover my mouse, it says to Bahari Bay. When you enter Bahari Bay, you will enter a completely different map that is just as massive. And one of the perks that I absolutely love about Palia is the ability to fast travel. Because the maps are so massive, when you come up to these different stables, there's a bulletin board right up front where you're able to spend a very small amount in order to travel to other sides of either the map you're on or just to a completely different map overall. So we're gonna go over to Bahari Bay, which only took 25 coins. And here we are in Bahari Bay. No muss, no fuss. And just to pull up the map so you can get a visual, this is Bahari Bay. So for this game, as I said, to currently be in open beta, to have this much land to explore is incredible. Not to mention, as you are traveling around, you will see, specifically in Bahari Bay, all the ruins of what looked like to be when humans were roaming the area. And it is just visually stunning, which also leads to another important quality, and what makes a perfect cozy game just its coziest is the ambiance. The sounds in the game, the music in the game is so incredibly satisfying. Like just picking up a foraging item, there's this little twinkle that you'll hear, and it's so incredibly satisfying. It's perfect. It's perfect. So that was the second most important feature in what makes a cozy game is the ambiance, is the sounds, is the music, and I literally love it. I'm obsessed. And just to give additional context to how stunning the game is, are we kidding? Are we kidding right now? The overall development and what they've done so far with this game, as far as the look and the feel, it is literally stunning. Visually, it is so satisfying and so calming. It makes you feel like you've transported into a completely different world where you'll want to stay here and just roam and explore for literally hours upon hours. I can't even tell you how many late nights I've had just exploring because of how visually satisfying it is. Another extremely important feature that I noticed was an overall trend amongst all of us who love our cozy games is even game progression. Basically, a grind that keeps you hooked, a grind that makes you want to continue to grind. And one of the most satisfying features of this game, I have to say, is the crafting. Although grinding for some of the materials can feel grindy, when you are finally able to craft the items, the game just satisfies a certain gratification to grinding said items. So for example, I'm going to craft the homestead barrel, which you can tell I haven't crafted yet because I don't have the green check mark. But when you craft an item of a specific series, once you've completed crafting said item, you come up with 3 different options of DIY recipes you can now learn based in that same category of furniture. So I'm going to do what appears to be the tea kettle, which it is the homestead tea set. And I can now go in and craft it. So it's like after a long day of grinding and you bring home your haul, to come in and be able to craft a stunning item like this, it keeps you wanting to come back for more, just to see what new recipes can I craft today? What new items will I be able to place on my plot today? It's 100% satisfying. This leads us to the next feature that's considered one of the most important in order to crown a game the perfect cozy game, and that is freedom. It's freedom to decorate, freedom to make your section or your valley or your island or your plot feel like yours. And that is one thing I believe that Palia has done for me that I don't feel like I've felt since a game like The Sims. Just the overall freedom in how you decorate. So when you click H, it brings you to a bird's eye view of your plot. And literally as you progress through the game, you'll be able to open up other sections of your plot. You also get by default a completely separate plot from the one that you currently have, where you can then just decorate even more. So if I want to have one plot that's modern and another plot that's cottagecore, it gives you that freedom in order to do so. And just with the decorating alone, I'm going to place down the barrel that I made. I'm going to place that down. And then we're going to go over and I'm going to place my tea set. This is where the satisfying nature of the game really comes in. It really scratches that itch, you know? So I'm going to place my tea set right on top of my barrel. And how cute, how cute. Now, will I just leave this here in the middle of my plot? Not at all. It's just the freedom that you have. On your mouse, the little scroll wheel that you have, you're able to turn this in any angle that you want. So if I want my little tea set to be off at an angle on my barrel, I can. If I want to remove the grid, because the grid can be somewhat distracting, I press that little letter Z and I can literally have free movement. And I have to say, the ability and the freedom to do that, again, is so satisfying. It keeps you wanting to just continue playing for hours upon hours on end. And I think that is also one of the trends that I've noticed when it comes to cozy games, is a lot of us use cozy games to help with that escape from day-to-day life, to help with the anxieties that real life brings, to be able to sit here and play with my little tea set and just decorate to my heart's content. It's part of what makes a game perfect. Look at that. Just a girl in her tea set. And can we talk about the camera? Is there definitely room for improvement with the camera? 100%. However, I appreciate any game that does have that, not even just from a content creator's perspective. I love taking pictures of my designs in a game and being able to share it amongst my friends, and I think it's great. And then last, but certainly not least, another important feature to officially crown a game as the perfect cozy game are games that have tasks and quests that you can complete. Currently, I'm working on 2 quests at the present moment, which you can see here pinned right on the side. One is Prove Your Devotion and the other is the Key. So one of the things that I noticed that's so great about the game is that as you are completing quests, new quests just will start to pop up for you to do, to just continue either the storyline or with just helping the other members of the village with any tasks that they have. But you also assist them with their own interrelationships with others. They may send you on a quest to speak to someone for them or to do a favor for them. Specifically with Gina, she's researching what it means for humans to now be in Kilima Village and how that's affecting everything. And it's so nice because the quests are not something you necessarily have to do. If you don't want to necessarily work on a quest and you just want to grind and work on your home, you can. But then when you want to break from the grind and you want to just do some quests and build relationships with the other villagers, you have that ability. And you don't feel like, if I don't speak to this person today, I can't progress this. It's not like that, and it's so pleasant, which again leads into One of our previous features that were mentioned is freedom, and it's the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and how you want it. And in Palia, I've noticed that has been one of the most pleasant parts of my experience so far. So that leads us to the end. Does the perfect cozy game exist? Perfection is in the eye of the beholder. Whether it's exploration, game progression, ability and freedom to decorate and do what you want when you want, great tasks and quests, wonderful ambiance, Palia really seems to check all the boxes. Is there room for improvement? 100%. The game is not going to be quote unquote perfect, especially while it's an open beta. The developers have been really great about just overall wanting to maintain the integrity of the game, with making sure that loading screens and being able to access the game, especially with it being an MMO, that you are able to get in and actually explore and test the game out and play with the game. I am just so excited for what the future holds for Palia. I do believe it has so much potential, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. If you've enjoyed this video and you would love to see more Palia content in a more relaxed, low-key way, be sure to like the video. If you've had a chance to play Palia, I would love to hear what are your favorite parts of the game. What itch is it scratching for you? I would love to hear about it below. If you haven't played as of yet, what are you most excited for? Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. And until next time, I will see all of you wonderful, beautiful human beings later.